It's interesting, isn't it? Because you give so much thought to obviously getting married and what have you. People sometimes say, oh, divorce is so easy these days. You know, and I suppose statistically, the fact that, you know, so few of us on the show have been divorced. What do you think to their thoughts that you should really examine whether it is the right thing to do? And obviously, I'll come to you, Cole, because you're right in the middle of this at the moment.
Yeah. I think people that say divorce is easy have never been divorced, because I don't think it is easy at all. I think it's really, really, really difficult. And also for them to say, you know, you should really try and work at it. In my case, absolutely, spent the last 2 or 3 years trying to work at it, but there has to come a time where you go, it's not working for either of us. I don't want to stay with somebody just because divorce is hard. Oh, sorry. That's the ex. That's the ex trying to get in.
They're divorce lawyers. And in my experience of my friends, when they've got divorced, the problems really begin when you involve lawyers.
Well, can I just say that going through it at the moment, I don't think they like the fact that me and Ray are getting on, like we're still good friends and we're getting on. They don't like it. They want us to row. And because the more they row, the more time is spent, the more money they get. So it's really annoying me and Ray at the moment.
So do you have to have a lawyer?
Apparently, you can do it. You can do divorce online and stuff like that.
But there has to be some
now.
legal. There's like a legal thing, isn't there?
Yeah. But I think to do it in that way, you have to be, you know, completely and utterly amicable, and there's not that much to sort out. I think when there's a lot to sort out,
I've had friends that got divorced that way. You could get a pack from stationers. I don't want to say a name, and they both they'd been separated for over the 2 years. You have to be apart for 2 years. They both filled it in, made sure that it was all legally correct, paid just a few £100 legal fees, and that was it. It was done.
Yeah,
it wasn't a big
I guess
deal.
but it's more complicated for a lot of people. You've got properties and you've got children together. That's a complication.
But the thing is as well with divorce, I think a lot of people, especially probably around, you know, if it happens later on in life, like in my case, you know, my 50s, you know, I don't think you should, I've said this before, obviously being lonely is a big fear for anyone, you know. I've had moments of loneliness and all of that, but I don't think you should stay with someone out of fear of that, because I think there's no lonelier place than to sit next to someone where you know, actually, do you know what? We're lonely together.
Yeah. I think there's
you know,
nothing lonelier than being in a relationship.
Being in the wrong relationship.
I have to say, though, this weekend I had my very first... Because I've actually... You know, it's not been out of the blue what's happened with me, right? It's been happening over time, and he's really happy now, and I'm really happy, and I'm enjoying it, the independence. But I had my first, I think I'm really lonely weekend.
Oh.
Well done. It's all right, I put the voice on in order to skip.
I really thought you'd gone then.
No, it got me through it. But, you ordered a skip. Yeah, I thought I just need to get rid of everything else. No, it's to get rid of the
actually,
kids.
that was more in a way to do with your kids, wasn't it?
Well, the skip wasn't to do with
No. The fact that your kids' lives
No,
are...
well, what happened was Jake had loads of his friends round, Kira had loads of her friends round, because they were all getting ready to go out, and they were both up, you know, in respective bedrooms. And for the first time, I had this house full of my kids, and I thought, they're moving on now. They don't need me. They're all getting ready to go out, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just in the kitchen and thought, I am on my own.
Yeah, but you're on your own with a chance
to
do other things.
Yeah, I had that feeling as well, in the same way, where Betsy was only 2, and I then sat there and thought, I'm now doing this on my own. So I felt lonely in that way, you know, and suddenly you're just left and you've got a child.
Yes, but the thing is, you've still got the child to totally focus on, and you're there for a reason. When they grow up and they don't really need you anymore, you do sit there and think, But not enough for me to warrant to go...
Mine are younger, they can come and live with you.
boyfriend.
Mine are younger, they can come and live with you. Because I'm fine with it.
No, I don't like kids. I'm not saying I want the kids to stay, Andrea.
Oh, OK. Friends of mine who've got divorced, actually the ones that work the best in the context of divorce are like you guys, in that you kind of separate, don't particularly put it out there, get used to the idea, and then somebody at some point goes, well, you know,
we ought to get divorced.
should we
That's
just
what we did.
rubber stamp this now?
We had 2 years of separation, and then it was... We never mentioned divorce. It just was like, well, I suppose we ought to get divorced now, you know, and you just...
We're not together,
Yeah,
so
we're not
we just
together,
need to finalise.
so it was never... That word wasn't brought up really early on.
It was in mine.
Was it?
Yeah.
Do you know that that word? It's really interesting because I think a lot of people kind of bandy it about as a threat, and I think it's a really powerful word, and you should only ever say
if
it
you mean it.
And it's got to that point. Never dangle it over someone.
Oh no, it shouldn't be used as a threat every 2 minutes. No,
never.
No, I just said it the once.
She meant it.